Let the baller take you home, island style represent.
In this episode, we farewell the east and island hop south to Thursday Island. We start the long journey leaving Murray Island and make our first stop off at Yorke Island.
Just passing through Yorke Island, and we figured we might as well pop in for a last quick dip in some waters to try and see if we can find some Spanish. So hopefully it's pretty good, we find some fish. It's about 6 o'clock. We're about to quickly jump in and see what's around.
We just pulled up a spot on Yorke Island, it's notorious mackerel shoal, and there's a lot of bait and mackerel on it. It's thick.
Just getting ready.
Get in, boys.
We just had a quick dive for about an hour. On a little spot that we've been hitting for the last few years. We got it on a low tide with the incoming run, and there's a fair bit of bait straight on the top of the mark and all the fish to follow.
Crazy spot. Mackerel, seas of mackerel, jacks, trout, cobia. It's unbelievable.
Everything. Dennis jumped in at a 5mm. What size jacket are you putting on? There's a 5mm jacket on in tropical, far North Queensland. So I thought I'd have a bit of fun at his expense and throw
Somebody come and look at this.
throw a bikini on. I've been chasing a cobia for years, been on top of my list for ages, and sure enough, as soon as I jump in a bloody bikini, cobia swims by. Got to do what you got to do. So got my first cobia in a nice, pretty bikini that I'm sure you'll all see at some point. So that'll be good.
No.
Locals are fantastic. Everyone's been super friendly. They all look after us. Come in, you be respectful. We always go in and pay our respects and see the people that we know, or on our initial trip had meetings with the local elders. And just be respectful. Share your catch. We got more than we can eat, so we pay a bit of our dues to people who have helped us out, and everyone's happy to help you next time.
After leaving Masig, we head southwest to Warraber.
Stopped for a little bit of fuel, groceries on our way through to TI. People are really friendly. It's nice, fairly low type island. A few of the islands that we've seen have been sort of mountainous, but we've noticed that this area is sort of lower type islands, which are something different to see. The water's so beautiful and clear, really cool to come and have a look. It's another part of paradise.
All the beautiful trees along this esplanade have buoys that I'm assuming have washed up hanging in them. Looks awesome. They've got all these signs everywhere that show directions to Mer, the directions to Masig, the directions to PNG.
Cool sign.
That was very cool. And at a beautiful volcanic rock beach. It's nice to lay down on those rocks and soak up the bit of the sun and a bit of the heat after a bit of a cold and wet journey from Masig.
While on Warraber, we visit the local crayfish factory.
My name is Arul Pearson. Warraber from your Warraber, and this is my son, Lumia Tony Pearson. And we got the crayfish factory here. The setup below here is only for live crayfish, kaya there. We only buy tail and live crayfish. We don't take any other fisheries like beef steamer or mackerel and all that stuff.
We got locals from every island they come, but mainly we get all them local boys from Warraber. Yeah.
Most of the people live there. We all families are, from end to end.
The final run south to Thursday Island for a quick change of gear and back on the boat to the largest island in the Torres Strait, Prince of Wales.
So we're just here. I used to run around as a kid on motorbikes and just go up hunting with my family. So my brother and cousin take us out here hunting. So we decided to come here and try our hand at catching some meat. Unfortunately, that whole area was all burnt through recently and must have been a pretty large fire because there was no signs of any vegetation or any wildlife at all. So we had to sort of change our direction and game plan. We were actually heading our way back to the boat to get picked up and headed over a saddle where there seemed to be no fire, and we found ourselves a deer. And so we're all happy now and we can take it home and share it with all the family and some of the old people that told us some of their old stories.
There were deer on a ship that was coming into the Australian waters, going down to Australia, and of course with quarantine regulations they weren't allowed to bring them in. Protection for livestock in Australia, so they actually offloaded them at Friday Island. Friday Island had a workstation with Malay gentlemen working for the pearlers at the time. The deer, from what was told to me by primary industries men, that because of the warm climate up in this area, the deer would probably breed twice a year, being the climate was warm. So they multiplied fairly quickly, and vegetation on Friday Island wasn't very plentiful. The deer could smell the foliage from Prince of Wales. When the tide goes out, the sandbank at Friday Island is very dry, very short swim across. Deer have hollow hair and they swim probably halfway out of the water. So to swim from the Friday Island sandbank to Prince of Wales was nothing.
Growing up, TI, I was privileged to team up with Uncle Ronnie and Auntie May. We used to go over weekends for Moralag, POW, Prince of Wales. They've got a homestead there. It's a beautiful country, beautiful island of Haurei people. Moralag, Prince of Wales. And you appreciate the environment when you go in there. And you connect with the country. When you get your kai come house family, you share that food, take them come TI and share amongst families. This is the way of life. We're sharing here with this space of the Kaiwalaga region. And we look forward for the Barbies, and that brought us families ever closer, the network. And you meeting new friends along the way. So they've got good values we need to continue. It's still to maintain. Don't leave them good thing behind.
We're in fucking crocodile country. It's gonna go a bit like this.
Here we are. We're at the 5th Melbourne Cup at Punsand Bay, right on the tip of Australia, most northern horse race on the mainland. Today we've got 9 horses. We've been racing around town trying to get them all, but we finally got 9 horses, 4 more this morning, with the help of Josh and all the other fellas. We're going to be racing 2 races today, the MPA Derby 450 metres, and then later on this afternoon the Cape Yorke Cup, which is 560 metres. It's probably one of the best days of the year, but we do have camping and school kids, school holidays, lots of people come up here. Good place to come.
$50. Anyone else in it? Put 700 out the back there at 700. At 700, call it out. At $700 to bid once. I got 50 now. 750. I got 750.
I'm in for 250. Pete's in for 500, and then he might raise, and we'll see what happens. It might be a split pot if he keeps bidding.
At $100 out the side here. Sold.
Once you've sold all the horses, then you work your way down. The buggy will go down the beach with you, check the beach out, check the sand out, and then we'll be racing. Okay, we want a nice, clean race.
All the boys back from in Bamiga, from 5 communities. Yeah, we're just up here in Punsand Bay here for the Melbourne Cup race.
What a cheap horse came second. Splinter, you beauty.
We're always winning. Woohoo!
It was now time for some of the guys visiting to finish their tour and head back home. It was great to meet some new faces and share some amazing experiences on this episode. Stay tuned for our next episode where we visit Badu Island one last time and check out some more shipwrecks. Eso.